When you live a frugal lifestyle, sometimes it can be frustrating when you can't do anything fun. So I wanted to show you in today's video that you can basically do anything that you want, not everything that you want, and still save money. So today's video is all about enjoying amazing experiences with the people that you love while doing it on a budget. You just have to be a little creative. So if you didn't know, in order to celebrate 20 years of marriage to my husband and also to celebrate the graduation of my oldest daughter from high school, we decided to take a family trip to Hawaii. And I'm gonna share with you today how we did all of it on a budget and how you can also be creative in the way you experience vacations. So step one, flights.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Flights for 6 people, not cheap, my friends.
I'm talking about this.
And that's where credit card churning comes in. Now, this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for people who have a ton of credit card debt. This is for the average Joe who wants to travel a little bit and doesn't want to pay anything for flights. Are you going to get rich on utilizing credit card bonus points? No, you are not. This is how you credit card churn from the beginning. With the whiteboard lesson, every credit card company is going to offer you some kind of bonus, okay? We're looking for cards that have a very high bonus. Right now I'm working the Capital One Venture X card. I'm doing this one as a business card. There, I even have the little guy right here. So I'm doing this business card because the benefits outweigh the fee. For beginners, I would say pick a card that does not have an annual fee, or that they waive the fee for the first year. This one does cost $3.95. When I started this several years ago, I would never pick a card that had a fee, or maybe they would like waive it for the first year, right? So it would be $0. Right off the bat, they're gonna give you a $300 travel credit. And because I kind of travel for YouTube work now, this is very easy to do. I book a hotel, boom, I get my travel credit. And so now my fee is $95. Once you've been with them for a year, they're gonna give you a $100 or 10,000 point, like bonus points towards travel. Now, I'm in the plus by $5, but I'm not done yet. This card also gives me a $100 credit to do TSA pre-check or global entry. So I don't have TSA pre-check, I'm going to get it. They're gonna basically cover the entire fee for me. I am now in the positive $105. Now here's the real trick. This card is also going to give me 100,000 points as a bonus once they hit their spend for new card holders. The spend you're looking for when you do a new card should be low. I've seen $500 across 3 months, $1,000 across 3 months. If you do things like groceries, gas, that's usually pretty easy to hit. The ones I don't love are like $6,000 in 3 months. I don't like those, I don't do those cards. I think this one was $3,000 in 6 months. Now we can use the points, cancel the card, start a new card. People love the Capital One Venture X if you travel a lot, like if you travel for business. I did a Southwest card recently. Now remember, I only do 1 card a year. I'll do one in my name this year, and then I'll do one in my husband's name next year. So they're only pulling my credit every other year. The fee per year was $0. I think they waived it for the first year, okay? 0, that's what you want. No fee card. Number 2, they were gonna give me 80,000 points as a bonus for spending $1,000 in the first 6 months. Fill up your car with gas, go get some groceries. Well, it's less than $150 a month. So this is an easy spend requirement. Once I hit the 1,000, they populate my account with 80,000 miles. Then I'm gonna go to Southwest Airlines, buy my plane tickets, cancel the card. When I did Delta was also 80,000. I believe their spend was like 500 in 3 months. They populated my account, I bought the plane tickets, cancel the card, find a new card. This is called credit card churning because we do a card to get the points, cancel, move to the next card. I'm churning one to the other. Let's review real quick. You get a card with a very high bonus payout. I like anything over 70,000 points. Number 2, a low spend requirement. You do not want a $10,000 in 3-month spend requirement. No good. Number 3, I always look for the ones with 0 annual fee, or they waive it for the first year. Get your bonus points, get your tickets, cancel the card, find a new card. Now, this does ding your credit score a little bit. So if you are trying to get a mortgage, maybe don't do this right now. This is like advanced credit card user situation. I would not recommend this to everybody. I also need to mention that I do have one extremely long-term credit card that stays all the time. I got a credit card when I was 18 years old. I still have it. I'll put it in my desk and I won't use it as I'm kind of churning all these credit cards. The one fee that comes off every month, no matter what, is my Netflix bill. If you have an impulse spending issue, do not do this. Let me say it again for people in the back. If you have a hard time with credit card spending, do not do this. This is for highly disciplined people. The next biggest cost is going to be where will you stay and how will you drive? Now, there are a ton of different rental car companies, but it can be helpful to look up local rental car companies. There's a discount Hawaii rental car company that I've heard amazing things about, and you can always use Turo. Turo is like Airbnb for cars, where real people there on the island or in mainland United States can put their car up on the website and you pick it up and you drive it around and you drop it off at the spot. It is significantly cheaper than going through a rental car company. We rented a minivan. Next up is where to stay. Now, if you're going to do a Hawaii vacation, that will depend on your island and what you want to do while you are there. We ended up staying on the west side of the island after a bunch of research and talking to some friends who had been there multiple times before. And I'm telling you, the best deals for housing or things like that in Maui specifically, because that's where we went, is Vrbo, VRBO.com. That's hands down, you're gonna find the best deals, better than Airbnb. If you're just a single person or a couple, there's some places for $100 a night in Hawaii. You also have to understand that some places that you travel are going to be more expensive than other places. Are you ready for this shocker? Hawaii, more expensive than Mexico. Did you know that? I had a family member travel to Italy with her kids a few years ago. She said Italy was less expensive than Hawaii. Guess what? We're not hanging out at the condo. We're out, we're at the beach, we're out swimming, we're out snorkeling, we're exploring. We're not just hanging out at the house. And by purchasing groceries and cooking there at the condo, like breakfast, making sandwiches and packable lunches, really cut down on food bill in general. If you haven't seen my Maui grocery haul, that is in the video I put up a couple of days ago. I'll leave that down below if you want to check it out. Speaking of groceries, in Maui specifically, Costco by far cheaper than almost any other grocery store I went to. Bagels at Costco, $3.50 a pack. That's about what they are at home. At a regular grocery store, $8 a pack. That is not what they are where I live. So Costco was definitely an excellent tip to get the bulk of my groceries. What the heck are you going to do when you're there? It's a vacation after all. You're planning on doing some fun things. You can go as cheap as completely possible and do beach time and pool time the entirety of your trip. That doesn't cost anything extra. You really, really can. Now, that's not the way I like to run all of my trips. I do like to do a few excursions here and there. So here were some items that I was interested in doing and how I saved money doing them. Number one, thought a luau would be super fun. The luau's were pushing $200 a person. That's $1,200 for my family of 6 to have a couple of hours experience and a meal. If you have to ask yourself the question, is it worth it to pay this dollar amount to experience this thing? The answer is no. So we decided to pass on the luau this time, the road to Hana. Reading online, the road to Hana feels extremely overwhelming for someone that's never been to any of the islands and doesn't know how to do it. The cost, I'll look it up right now. On Viator, if you've never used them before, I'll leave a link down below. I've been using them since 2017. It's literally my favorite place to find tours or ideas of what to do in an area. So all of these tours for the road to Hana are $220 a person, $210 a person. The cheapest one is $160 a person. So if I did the absolute cheapest one at $160 a person times 6 people plus tip, don't forget to tip your tour guides, that would have been over $1,000. So here's what I did instead. Number one, I researched what felt like for weeks and weeks and weeks. There's like 80 plus stops on the road to Hana. Which ones do you pick? If you actually did the entire thing, it would take you 3 days if you stopped at every single stop. So obviously we cannot do that. We have to pick and choose where it is we're going to spend our time. Also, another question on the table is, do you do the backside of the road to Hana? There is also conflicting information on that one. So here's what I spent. We purchased the Shaka app, $20. So instead of like $1,100, so far I've spent $20. Add in a tank of gas, that's another $50. So I am at $70. Reservations for the Black Sand Beach, that was $30. I'm now at $100. I already have a National Parks Pass. I brought it with me, so we were able to go to the national park. The best thing about the Shaka app or guide is that it tells you everywhere to stop. Every single place where there's something cool to look at, they will tell you where to go. So you wanna hike the bamboo forest, you can do that. Here were our favorite things. Aside from stopping here and there to taste like yummy banana bread, pineapple smoothies, and coconut ice cream, the Black Sand Beach, we were there for 2 hours. Could have stayed there all day. They had showers and bathrooms, picnic tables for lunches. It was an amazing spot. We also hiked to the Red Sand Beach right there in Hana. We are doing this short hike to the Red Sand Beach in Hana town. It's a little slippery with the pine needles. It's a hair dangerous because we're above these like lava rocks and cliffs. The color of the water is spectacular. This is amazing. We already swam at the Black Sand Beach, so we just wanted to come see the Red Sand Beach. Parking is super challenging. There's only like 4 or 5 spots for cars next to the Hana Community Center, and that's about it.
I've been out on the streets where the lights are red. I've been hiding the world safely in my head, where nobody's ever been. We're all waiting around for the storm to come, hoping someone will care, saving everyone. But it starts with me and you. Our song will never fade away. We'll always be fighters. I'll hold your hand till Judgment Day. We'll stand in the light as the ones who never ever quit, who risked every part of it. We'll live forever, you and me, Billy, Billy. I've been walking around, I've been listening to the sound of my heart and remembering how it echoed in my chest. Never give up your song before it makes it through. Never lay down and die with your music in you. Open up and let it out. Yeah, scream it out. Our song will never fade away. We'll always be fighters. I'll hold your hand till Judgment Day. We'll stand in the light as the ones who never ever quit.
And moving on to my favorite part of the entire road to Hana, the backside. Listen, you guys, online there are horror stories about the unpaved road and the cliff exposure and the one-lane roads and the twisty turns and the bridges. If you've driven mountain roads in Idaho or anywhere, those are way worse. I did not think it was that bad at all. I'm terrified of heights. It was not that bad. I never thought that we were gonna fall off a cliff. I never thought that it was so exposed that we could topple over. My kids said in their top 5 things they have ever seen was the backside. It was stunning. Like, cameras and words and pictures do not do it justice.
Missed every part of it. We'll live forever, you and me. You were never ever lost. You were never lost. Our song will never fade away. We'll always be fighters. I'll hold your hand till judgment day. We'll stand in the light.
Other questions people always ask. It took us 12 hours from doorstep to doorstep to do the entire thing. And we bypassed a lot of the stops. 2 hours at the black sand beach, 2 hours at the national park, and some shorter other stops along the way. We started early. We left our condo at like 6:15 in the morning, and we made it to the black sand beach at about 10:15 in the morning. So we saved basically $1,000 on the road to Hana tour by not doing the tour and doing it ourselves. It's a really good way to save a ton of cash to figure out what you can do yourself and what you cannot do yourself. Another thing we did is we brought our own snorkel gear and did a lot of our own snorkeling based on research on which beaches have the best snorkeling.
To settle down, day nights and late nights don't get around. But there's something about you I like, about you I like. You're crazy for saying I should slow down, but maybe I'm escaping the love we found. There's something about you, something about you I like, about you I like. I get too drunk and too scared and lie to you. If only you knew I would die for you. One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better, nobody loves me better. Nobody loves me better. I'm just too scared to settle down. There'd be many nights I got too high and almost left town. But there's something about you, something about you I like, about you I like.
Another fun thing we did was tour the northwest side of the island to the blowhole and the tide pools. Two things that we did that we actually did pay for was a pineapple farm or plantation tour, not Dole because that's on Oahu. The Maui Gold pineapple farm, amazing. Most delicious pineapple I have ever had in my life. Like, I can't even buy pineapple anymore because it's just gonna be disappointing in comparison. It tastes like straight sugar.
Anderson's like dripping off of his hands.
This is the best pineapple I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's not acidic, like he said it. Only by the Del Monte, not Dole.
And the other thing we paid for was the snorkel tour to Molokini, I think is the name of it, and the Turtle Town snorkeling spot. They fed us breakfast and lunch. We were on this enormous boat. It was run very smoothly. They took a ton of pictures.
I set out on a road that I built with my own two hands.
lines on the way people chosen to make a stand. I felt strong in the sun as I walked onto pastures green. Saw forgiveness together as spaces in between. And I'll be with you through the night. And I'll turn every wrong to right. Baby, we're children of summer, we're meant to be free. Honey, we're not like the others, no reason to be. And my ventures, they brought me to places I've never been. But you can walk through this world without a few punches upon your chin. I think I lost you somewhere between 20 and 23. But I still hold you dear despite the heartbreak you caused in me. 'Cause you were with me through my nights. And
I hope this video gave you some amazing tips on saving money and still being able to do amazing things. And honestly, my whole journey into traveling inexpensively was kickstarted by turning credit cards and figuring out how to do tours yourself if you are able. We have saved so much money doing it that way. If you have any more questions about our trip to Maui, leave them down below and I'll try and answer them for you. And until I see you next time, happy traveling. And yes, you can absolutely do it on a budget.
There's no reason to be. Faded is far in our lungs, so it's too hard to breathe. Lover, I live for the day you and I turn to we. To think of you now, though my memories turning bleak.
Taylor, watch out.
I just feel like I weigh too much.
Yeah, and wherever you are, I think it's here you were meant to be.